everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Faith and Grace Life Talks podcast. It's your girl Cece. We are in the building on the last day of the year. It is December 31st, 2025, and yes, we are headed into the new year, you guys. So what a blessing, what a blessing, what a blessing. Thank the Lord. Praise God, right? So first and foremost, I just want to say that I pray that everyone had a fantastic and wonderful holiday, Christmas, right? I pray that everyone had a very Merry Christmas this year and got everything their hearts desired. I had a wonderful Christmas, got a chance to spend time with family and friends. And yeah, I really enjoyed it this year. It's pretty cool. And yeah, I'm just thankful and grateful. Yeah, a great holiday. I actually kept it a little simple this year, but it was worth it. It was worth it, right? And so, yeah, today, if I can get this video out, I was supposed to do this last week. So here we are on the day of that I normally releasing this video. Okay. So this is a quick impromptu video and we're just going to keep it short and sweet. Okay. So today I want to talk about us setting gentle goals going into 2026 and just taking the time to actually reflect on this year. Think about everything that you've gone through this year, whether the good and the bad. Okay. Just reflect on, think about where you think you saw God's hand move, things that he have brought you through. Maybe think about some areas that you struggled in, but you overcame, right? Think about some things that you soared through and just got through simple, easy, and it was just like on spot, on point, right? You had no issues, right? Just reflecting over everything that you have been through this year. Okay. That's what I want us to do. Just slow down, take a moment and reflect. Now, if you so desire, grab your notebook. Because it might be some things that you might want to write down. Okay. So, if you had a rough patch or a rough time this year, I don't want you to think that God left your side, because he's still with you, right? He was still with you. He saw you through it. You made it through, right? And for others, maybe you feel like you haven't made it through and you might be still in a struggle area of whatever it is that the season of life that you are in. And it's okay. As long as you keep trusting, putting your trust and your faith in him, you will make it through. Okay. Because sometimes we have a tendency to make it seem like when we come to the end of the year that people don't struggle going into the new year. Some people go through a season of struggle at the end of the year and they're still in that season of struggle when the new year comes, right? That's just the reality. It's not for everybody, but for some people. Okay. And I just want you to, if you are in a season of, you're going through something, just keep hanging on, holding on to God's unchanging hand, because he does have you. He's going to see you through, right? You're going to make it through this season in your life. Okay. So I want you to think about where you feel like you probably grew this year, areas in places that you may have grown. I also want you to think about some lessons that you may have learned, right? Right? I want you to think about some lessons that you probably learned this year too. Okay. Think about those things too. And then I want you to think about some things that was not so good that you might be still hanging on to on this very moment, on this last day of the year, that we ain't going to carry into 2026. Okay. It might be some bitterness. It might be some resentment. It might be some regret. It might even be some unrealistic expectations, because sometimes we have a tendency to set some unrealistic expectations, and when they're not met, we feel so disappointed in ourselves. Sometimes we set the bar too high. You know what I'm saying? You have to set the bar according to what you are going through in your life in that moment, in that season, right? And so, yeah, sometimes your expectations may be too high. I know plenty of times that I have done that. My expectation to you. Sometimes we be so focused on a bigger goal, the at hand, that we don't know how to reach it. We don't know how to navigate to make it through, because our mindset is that this is what I want to accomplish. and you're not really thinking about the smaller steps that it takes to get you there, right? So I want you to think about all of those things and think about the things that you plan on leaving behind, things that God don't want you to take into 2026, okay? Pray and say a prayer. Ask God to help you to release those things so you will not carry them into 2026, okay? We want to go into the year of 2026 with intention, right? We want to go into the year 2026 with intention, setting some small, gentle goals. That's what we're going to talk about today. And I'm not going to keep y'all long. We're going to talk about some small, gentle goals, right? And gentle goals is just basically you setting smaller goals to get to the big goals, but small goals that's not going to overwhelm you, right? That's not going to make you stumble and fall off track to where you just don't even no longer work towards that main goal. That's what these gentle goals are. These gentle goals are the smaller steps that you're taking to get to the larger goal. And that's what we're going to focus on, the small things, right? So what I want you to do is I want you to pick 3 things, 3 gentle goals that you want to ease your way into 2026 with. It could be personal, spiritual, or practical, right? So I'll give you some examples. As far as spiritual go, for me, I want to increase my prayer time. I feel like from the beginning to maybe the middle part of the year, I think I was okay in my prayer life. Always room for improvement, don't get me wrong. However, I feel like towards the end part of this year, I fell off with the consistency of increasing my prayer time, if that makes sense. So for me, I want to get back to increasing my prayer time with God, making sure that I stay connected with Him. Your goal could be personal. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're good in that area, right? On your spiritual walk and your spiritual journey with God. It could be something personal, you know what I'm saying, in the natural that you're desiring to do. Maybe something like exercising, eating better, eating healthy, right? You know what I'm saying? Doing the natural things. And so you might want to set a goal of intention, an intentional small step of, you know what? The first week of January, I'm going to take maybe 3 days out the week and I'm not going to have any sugar, any sweets. I'm just not going to do it. I've had enough through the holidays. And now, even though I'm not a sweet person, I'm just using this as an example. And though I like sweets or whatever, I'm just going to, because it's hard for me to cut out, I'm just going to cut a few days out in the first week of January to ease my way to add days on. Right. So I'm going to do 3 days the first week of January with no sweets. And then the following week, I'm going to do 5 days. You know what I'm saying? Just like those are smaller, gentle goals that you can set to not overwhelm you, not only overwhelm you, but you can accomplish because they are practical, sustainable goals, if that makes sense, right? Let me see, give you another example of a practical goal of, for instance, me, one of my practical goals that I plan on setting, that I've set rather, is be more intentional with a cleaning schedule, right? And breaking down my cleaning schedule into smaller bits, if that makes sense. Now, I clean my house. I'm not trying to say I don't clean my house or anything like that, but instead of trying to do everything in one day, like on that Saturday, how we usually, because I'm getting older now. And sometimes I just can't clean the whole house in one day like I used to. Okay. I don't have the help of the kids anymore because they grown and gone about their business or whatever. You know, my son's in college, my daughter's, she's still home, but most of the time she's not at home. And so, I have to break it up. But now I have to be intentional about setting certain days that I'm going to work on this. On this day, I'm going to do laundry. On this day, we're going to do a deep clean on the kitchen. On this day, we're going to do a deep clean on the bedroom. You know what I'm saying? Smaller goals that can, you know what I'm saying? But throughout the week, I'm going to make sure that I maintain doing pickup times where I kind of just do the little tidy things, you know what I'm saying? So that way, when I get to the day of deep cleaning, it's not so overwhelming for me because I've been doing little tiny things of tidying up throughout the week, if that makes sense. So I just want to be more intentional in my home cleaning schedule of setting an actual schedule that's going to help me. So those are just a few examples of setting small, gentle goals that's not going to overwhelm me, that I can ease my way into instead of routine, if that makes sense. Okay. Okay. And I want to be consistent. That is my new best friend. That is my new word entering. You know, every year we enter with a word or a phrase or a few words. This year for me, my word is consistency. And I think I've had this word before, but I think I've had it grouped with other words in the past. But this year, baby, consistency is the only word that I'm grabbing on. I'm just gonna focus on that one word. This going into 2026, right? Because that is my struggle, consistency. Okay, and so yeah, pick you a word that you know that you can focus on, or words or phrases, whatever you want to do, whatever works for you, to transition you into 2026, that you can keep in your mind, to make sure that you are sticking with your routine or doing whatever it is that you need to do, to transition into the small gentle goals that you're setting to get you to accomplish the bigger goals that's at hand, right? So here's something that you can do a quick 1-minute reset where you thank God for 3 things that you accomplished this year. Name 1 thing that you learned this year. Name 1 thing that you're letting go of, that you're releasing. And choose, we just talked about that, choose 1 word for the new year. And then write 3 gentle goals that will match these things going into this season. Okay? Write 3 gentle goals that will match going into this season. Y'all, I'm having a hot flash all of a sudden, and my little fan thing is in the house. Gosh, Jesus. But yeah, so that's what I just wanted to kind of share right quick with you guys. Again, I did not want to keep you long because I actually had a larger, I wanted to talk about this kind of more in depth. You know, when I was supposed to do it a week ago, when I was supposed to record this episode a week ago, it was more in depth that I wanted to go over. But because I waited till the last day of the year to record this, we're just gonna touch on a few things right here that you can listen to, reflect on, write it down, make you a list, however it is that you want to do. Just spend some time reflecting. Spend some time thinking about everything that I told you to think about. Ultimately, show gratitude towards God, giving him thanks and praise for keeping us and keeping us throughout the year. And just no matter if you went through some good times, bad times, ups and downs, just say thank you to God, right? Because he kept us, right? He kept us. So we just want to be grateful for him, grateful to him for keeping us, okay? And we want to make sure that we're entering into this year without stuff that's going to overwhelm us and that's going to lead us to burnout, and where we end up not accomplishing the larger goals at hand, or even falling off track and putting us, I don't want to say behind, because I don't feel like you're behind as long as you're working on it, but it might delay us from when, you know, from when we felt like we were going to accomplish the goal, if we get a little overwhelmed and burned out too fast. Okay, so basically that's pretty much all I got, and I pray that you are, you know, that you reflect on this and that you enjoyed this little short session of a reflection of 2025 going into 2026. I pray that everyone has a wonderful and happy new year. Another reason why I can't keep y'all long, because I got to get ready to go. We're going to church tonight, so I gotta go and start preparing myself for that. And yeah, so I do want to say this before I get off here though. This is the last episode of this season. I've decided to make this a season 1. Okay, so all the episodes from the time I've started until now to this last episode is season 1. So we will be transitioning into season 2 coming in the month of January. Now, I will say this. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to take the first 2 weeks off, because even though, you know, we probably say, well, it's just off, it's the Christmas holidays, I've only really technically missed one, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think I've only missed one Wednesday this month. Yeah, I did not release an episode on the 24th. So I've been recording episodes clean up until, you know, every Wednesday since I've started. And so I want to, I decided to make this the last episode for season 1 and transition into season 2 in January, but it's not going to be the first 2 weeks because I'm still trying to get some stuff together. Okay. Still trying to get some stuff together or whatever. And yeah, so we will pick back up season 2 in January. So y'all just continue to pray for me, and yeah, we will come back with a brand new season, and just however the Lord lead me into whatever topics that he lead me into. But I pray that you have stuck with me this time. If you have listened to me from the beginning, from the first episode to now, I appreciate each and every one of you if you've been listening, because I started off just with audio, I think the first couple of weeks or so, and then eventually I changed into video. And so yeah, I just thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. Hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, hit the like button, hit if you're listening or watching on Spotify, because I figured out how to upload the videos to Spotify now. So it's not just audio on Spotify, it's actually video on Spotify. Yay. But if you're watching over there, hit that follow button and that like button as well if you like this type of content. And yeah, thank you so much. I pray that everyone has a happy entering into the new year 2026, a happy new year. And yeah, y'all, let's set these general goals and let God lead us into the year, and let him lead us in accomplishing everything that he has set before us to do on this upcoming year of 2026. And I thank y'all so much for tuning in. And I think that's pretty much it. So I would also like to hear from you. So comment if you have any comments. And until the next episode, you guys continue to have faith and show grace. Bye.